Yeah, another draft physics video presentation. Alright, so things are going to change a little here. So all of my videos will now include this background, something like it anyway, because Google is evil. And they will all begin with me pointing out some evil thing about Google. And likewise, Baldy Cats will be in the title of every video as a coward, a slimy coward, and or something, a hate speecher or something. This whole idea that he has some kind of right to call me, okay, unacceptable, okay, as a human being, unworthy, because I do not believe in his fables, and it's that simple. Um, he has no right to tell me what I have to believe the evidence is. Uh, really, it's just, you'd almost say, yeah, you have a right to tell me evolution's a fact, and if I don't accept that, you might be able to use that as a standard for reasonable. I don't know. This is just so ludicrous. What's your definition of child abuse, idiot? Is it okay for somebody to raise their children as Jehovah Witnesses? That's okay. That human being is a great human being. I mean, you have such duplicity in your standards, and you're not allowed to call me something, okay? I don't appreciate it. And you have called me it quite directly now. And I don't accept the label you've placed on me, and I reject it, and I'm going to label you and force you, okay, to either man up and do what you said you were going to do for the appropriate, honorable reasons, or get somebody of equal stature to take your place, like AB Science or something, or provide me the video. Provide me the video evidence of your argument. Show me the video that you say proves light is a wave. You teach it, okay? You say the evidence is overwhelming. You say it to your little kid students. You propagandize this crap. Well, show me the video somewhere on the internet where the two slit is analyzed correctly and completely as a wave theory. Show me it, okay? So I can show how you're full of crap, all right? And that your arguments suck, your evidence sucks, and your accusations suck, all right? You claim people are science deniers. You claim all kinds of denial. You have no right to, because you're standing on a pile of crap. Your beliefs are nonsense, and you have no right to malign me, in your little fucking group of shills. Have no rights to do this crap. And so this is going to be the, tit for tat. There's just no other, I have no other weapons. I can't even freely speak on this medium, right? I have to watch what I say, because I'll get censored for defending myself against your accusations. You hear a rumor, you repeat it, and I have my video taken down, and I get a strike against my account, a permanent strike, for defending myself. This is disgusting. Okay, so Google is evil is for so many reasons. Obviously evil for censoring people with complete double standards. So I will leave a permanent link in the description on every video to the video they took down, where I'm defending myself against Baldy Cat's useless, stupid, and moronic accusation that I must believe what he believes, or else I'm a bad person. It's disgusting bullshit. So that link will remain also until Google removes the strike. This is just nonsense. This is so far from decent or fair. So obviously Google is evil because it has no real standards. It didn't explain to me when it's convicted me of hate speech. Yet they give you no evidence of where in the video I hate speeched against any group of people or anything anywhere. Where did I hate speak beyond saying, gee, that's shitty of you? So what beyond saying that's awful shitty of you, where did I hate speak? Because it's not in the video. So this is just such a pile of crap. The double standards are obscene. Other people can say things I can't say. Is that America? No. Did Google ever give a shit about America or the Constitution? No. Was Google right from the very beginning a frickin' lie? Okay, by two immigrants? Yes. Okay, so in the founding documents of Google, there's this wonderful phrase where they say, the internet needs a non-commercial alternative to the existing search products. So Alta Vista and all the web and it was really a good one. I can't remember its name, but you could find anything on it. Yeah, they're a little slower. But anyway, so all the other search products that they had to play by the rules, which is they had to actually pay their employees by making money. Okay, so I was actually involved in Netscape's Open Directory project at the time. Google showed up, and so I was keenly interested in the subject. I was part of the intellectual conversation that was going. I even knew the Jumbo guy of Wikipedia. We had lots of conversations. I mean, I guess people could say I was a bit of a fool because I basically argued it's a useless pile of shit and it won't work. But he was arguing that it would be a replacement for indexing the internet. And I was sort of saying, you can't do it this way because human beings are just too corrupt. Because I was seeing that in the Open Directory project. It was just all the categories were run by people who had special interests. And they were promoting their own crap, and there was just no way to regulate it. There was no way to prevent people from cheating all over the place. And so I eventually got kicked out because I was calling them on all the cheating that was going on. Because nobody wanted to just honestly index the internet except for me. I was the only honest player who was there to say, gee, let's make the internet really great. No, nobody wanted to do that. Everybody wanted to see what's in it for me. And there was a whole organization that was set up to scrutinize the search engines to make sure they weren't doing something corrupt. And then they sold out when Google started, sending out paychecks. They all sold out too, became Google employees. So, the whole thing is just corruption. Look, I don't blame people for selling out for big bucks. It's just life is hard. And it's hard to keep. It's hard when they're bribing you all over the place to not put bullets in your gun and to start not be a good soldier. It's easy to say okay, yeah, it's just too much of an advantage. You want to well, anyway. So I can't blame people for selling out when they're getting bribed, but I blame us for feeding the bribers, okay, the exploitonists. So Google came out with this crap. It wasn't evil. Everybody was like, oh, Google is great. And I was like a voice in the wilderness, of course, saying, don't buy it, okay? This is such a bait and switch, okay? There's no way. How is Google financed? What do you mean? It's a free search engine? What do you mean free? Who's paying for it? Well, what do you mean? So it was kind of obvious that Google had more money than everybody else. It was giving everything away for free, not an ad in place, nothing. So of course it wiped out the competition. And I was sitting there saying, this is Citizen Kane all over again. This is William Randolph Hearst's business plan. Drive everybody out of business by losing money, and so then you can take all the territory. And, so I predicted this, but, who cares? Nobody paid any attention. And it was obvious. But here it was, everybody just kept saying Google isn't evil because Google says I'm not evil. We're not evil. Don't be evil. We love everybody. We're great. We're Google. We're all kind of round and fun. No, it was an insidious plot from the very beginning, just like YouTube. YouTube was never intended to be anything about YouTubing or any of that. It was just exploitonists saying, we can steal a bunch of copyrighted content if we get other people to steal the content. And it was all proven in court. So, I mean, you're just being shammed and duped by these fucking evil bastard, fucking exploitonist bastards. Google is just exploitonist bastard all over the place. They don't give a fuck about the internet. 99% of their employees are doing nothing about the internet. They're just focused on selling ads. It's the biggest marketing company in the fucking world. It sells ads, commercials. That's all it cares about, is manipulating you. It doesn't care about doing you any good. It cares about pulling money out of the system, finding some way to make a profit on every single thing that happens. Every word that comes out of my mouth, they want to monetize. That's all they see. They just see opportunity to take a cut for them. They're just the most evilly greedy bastards on this planet. All right, that's enough rhetoric. So all the videos, I will try to keep my Google rant to a minimum, but they're all going to have one of some kind, because Google is evil. It should be known. You should realize it. You should pay attention. Nothing's going to happen until more than me wants it to happen. Change just doesn't happen. We got to make it happen. And you people just sit back and make excuses for everything. You make excuses so you just don't have to put your shoes on. You can just stay in your comfy couch and fuck it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to risk anything. It's just such bullshit. Oh yeah, I'm pro-civilization, but I don't want to pay for it. No, I want it free from Google. So anyway, the big lie was, right, that this had anything to do with offering a non-commercial alternative, because they knew what they were going to do. They knew the venture capitalist had to be persuaded to give them money. Stanford had to be persuaded to invest in this thing, and the only way they could be persuaded to pay the bills, was because they knew they had a plan. And the plan is to reverse the deal and put an ad on every video and every web page on the internet. And when Microsoft had the same idea, I'm going on and on. I shouldn't give away all of Google's secrets. But, before Google did AdSense, Microsoft proposed the same idea, except it was much more sensible, in the sense of, now most bandwidth is consumed by serving ads. At least the Microsoft plan was the ads would be built into the browser, Internet Explorer. So they would already be downloaded on your computer. So you wouldn't have to waste bandwidth to pop the ads up. And they would be built into the browser, so they wouldn't even have to interrupt with the web page. They wouldn't have to be put in the web page and make a mess of the web page. They would just be part of the browser. The browser would just have a section that the ad would pop on. And everybody went crazy. The whole internet community's evil. Microsoft, it's evil. It's trying to put ads on the internet. It's all of this hype and crap. And then when Google did it, nobody even whimpered. Just the hypocrisy of human beings, the duplicity, the horseshit. Google's my friend. No, Google is an exploitanist, an evil, drooling, greedy exploitanist, and a lying one to boot. They lied obscenely, right to everybody's face. And they covered the lie by saying exactly what, the opposite of what they are. We're not evil. Don't be evil. We're for the don't be evil principle. When they're not for that at all. It's the greediest company in the world, period. Selling the crappiest shit in the world. Absolutely nothing of value. Just noise. So anyway, are you having fun now, Google? You're gonna be so pissed if I'm actually right and become a somebody. Because frankly, I'm not going to forget. Yeah. And all of this history, your history will be known. It will be something everybody knows about. That you are, in fact, evil. That you lied from the very beginning to everyone. Okay. Just to be a William Randolph Hearst. Just to be a greedy scoundrel. Alright. And yes. Fuck you, Baldy Cats. Alright, so on to the physics. Alright, comments. This useless shit. So some idiot message me. No. I've tried to contact you for a while. Who cares? There's an email address right below me. I have the forms. I mean, if you have sent me emails, I've obviously found them uninteresting. So why should I do any of this? You, you know, and there's no messaging on YouTube, retard. You have to provide an email address or something. So, well, try again. Somewhere else. Okay. I've been watching your videos for years now. Your arguments you make are logical and make sense. Thanks for taking the time in these videos. Okay, I'll come up with. Okay. Draft Science. I saw the video on your other channel about the Baldy Catz debate being called off. I know you probably chew me out or block me. Well, you're probably right when you have to say that. But this isn't about ragging on you. I don't care what it's about. It's about probably something I'm going to find insanely silly and insipid. Oh, don't worry, be happy. Fuck you. I'm worried and I'm not going to be happy. Okay? I am writing this because I think you're entitled to get your chance to debate your ideas, and I can't see it happening without a change in strategy. Oh, that's right. I have to become a different person and pretend I like assholes. Well, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so that's just horseshit. They're cowards. I'm proving it. That's good enough for me as a strategy, frankly. And I think eventually that will work. If there is anything to salvage here, if there is any hope for the intellectuals of this world, then they're going to have to be a little bit smarter than you think they have to be. They really can't understand physics if they can't understand something as simple as, what the fuck are you doing interrogating people on their opinions on the Holocaust before you're allowing them to speak? What the fuck is that shit? Now, if they can't figure that out, then they're just too fucking stupid for any conversation. Okay? The people who push to stop your debate will continue doing this. Yes, and if the people who are falling for it obviously are so frickin' dumb, right? I mean, we know Baldy Catz was going to lose the debate anyway. So we know he was scared shitless. We know he had no clue what he was going to say because he has no answers. He has no rebuttal. Okay, so yeah, that's why this happened. Okay, if you keep arguing history the way you do, well, I'm going to knock. Am I really doing that? Am I arguing some kind of history beyond saying the Young experiment really isn't all that relevant or something like that? Where the fuck? I haven't made any videos arguing a whole bunch of history, have I? Oh, what a jerk. Anyway, the way you do, I understand you felt you were being pushed into saying something you didn't want to, but considering you essentially agreed you are not the thing you were being accused of. Again, you're just not getting any principles here at all, are you? If you keep letting them do this, these cheats will allow them to take over the world. The idiocracy wins if you let them do this pigeonhole bullshit. Okay, if you, I mean, this is as bad as the liberals finding some excuse for that asshole who made the fake Trump attack. Why is that asshole not in jail, for fuck's sake? There's absolutely no good reason for that insane lying piece of shit not to be in jail. The mess he fucking goddamn made with those disgusting accusations that are just completely fake news. I mean, he does so much goddamn damage and somebody finds excuses not to throw him in the hoosegow for 10 years? I mean, this is the horse shit that's running the world, you jackass. All of these stupid compromises is why this place is a shithole. Okay, anyway. Was worth having a debate called off to argue the method that people were disposed of. Again, I'm not arguing it. I have no interest in arguing. As I stated in the fucking email, he has no right, okay, to sit there and tell me this is important and I must say what he wishes me to say. I have to not only know this is the most important fact in the universe, right? We're not going to argue about whether or not the American Indians were genocide. We're not going to argue about any other historical facts. Somehow this one is the one I have to argue, and I have to have an opinion on it, and how my opinion has to agree with his opinion. This is outrageous, shithead. This is not something you just sit there and say, oh, it's okay. It's okay to play this game. No, it's not okay to play this fucking game. Alright, anyway. How many... So he's basically saying you should have lied. So you should have done exactly what I pointed out as catch-22. Prove your integrity. Prove that you're a real good human being by lying. Isn't that what you just said, shithead? Exactly what I pointed out is that's the prescription for disaster, shithead. That is not the road to winning. Okay, that's not winning with your boots on. Okay, that's winning with their dildo in your ass. Okay, I'm not gonna win that way. Fuck the rest of this horse shit. Fuck you. Okay, I'll read a little bit more. How many chances are you going to get? I think it's not going to be that hard, okay, to keep turning the fucking screws on these people and saying they are cowards, they're disgusting, overt cowards, okay? They'll sit there and pick on retarded people on the internet. That's all they do. They go find somebody who's goddamn retarded and they abuse retards. That's what they're doing on the internet. They're laughing and mocking retards, and Google doesn't stop them. That's not hate speech. Go find somebody who's of diminished mental capacity, intelligence, and sanity, and go make fun of them. How come Google doesn't stop that? All right. Channel with 25,000 subscribers. It seems the debate should have been the priority rather than arguing semantics with Baldy Catz. The semantics is not that I'm not entitled to have my honest opinions. That's not semantics, asshole. He basically said I'm not entitled. I'm not entitled to have a different definition of reasonable than his definition. Okay. You could have done the debate and then done a video clarifying your... Oh, you mean I could have lied, okay, and then played a bait and switch game. Yeah, I could have been just as guilty as everybody else of just cut all the corners until you have a perfectly round, principle. Go make the cornerstone of your building a round thing and see how long the building stands. Anyway, on other stuff afterwards. So this is just, again, more wishy-washy bullshit. Okay, yes, your backseat driving is so fucking interesting. Can't you see how fucking interesting I'm finding it all? I sat there right in the video and explained how I did actually think about it. I did actually pause and say, Gary, just give them what they want. And then I said, no. Then I lose. The dildo's in my ass. Okay. Instead, the people who wanted to stop this debate can do the same thing in the future. That's right. They're going to continue to do it until you people stop it. You, the audience, has to have enough integrity to say, yeah, I like it when people are honest, not dishonest. You have to vote for honesty. You have to vote to say, yeah, we have laws and principles, and if you're going to make fake news, you're going to go to fucking jail. You have to say that. Knowing you're going to get bogged down arguing this stuff rather than just saying I'm not this thing you are accused. I said that, you fucking weaselly piece of shit. God damn. Baldy Cat said he would have blocked them and carried on, but the way you tried to qualify things sent into a downward spiral. Oh, you mean the way I said it honestly? This is what I believe. I don't believe something else. This is what I believe. And if that's not good enough, then yes, call me whatever name you wish to call me, okay? But I don't think you've justified it. I don't think there's any reasonableness to this. I don't think you have any right to disqualify my humanity. Okay, as you said, it's a sensitive issue to discuss. Well, again, that's not my fault. And that doesn't give the sensitive people a right to be insensitive. And in my opinion, they're insensitive to basic logic when they tell other people you have to believe what I believe. All right. Like I say, I'm writing this with a genuine good intention towards you. Yeah, you're telling me what I already know. You're being a pompous little douchebag pile of shit. So yes, fuck you. I didn't like it. All right, I've been watching your videos for a few years now. The arguments, oh, we already did that. Ken Wheeler is a moron, rolling on the floor laughing. Well, guess what? That's just useless tripe too. Okay. I mean, the point to make is that he's a liar, and he's inaccurate, and he's under knowledged, and he's full of gibberish. We, in regular discussions, say that if a box is kept on a rough floor of a cabin, so this is, you're getting it, you're fucking up physics right here by introducing friction, okay? Well, anyway. And if the cabin is rotating such that even the box is rotating with the cabin without slipping outwards, so again, that just depends on how much friction you've applied, how many grooves you've put into the floor. So what does this have to do with anything real? Oh, that's right, nothing. Then the necessary centrifugal force, again, the centripetal force. There is no such thing as centrifugal or centripetal forces. These are not forces. The forces happen in straight lines. Okay, now you're just not getting that part, but that's the reality. And the force is being applied through whatever the axle is. So whatever the axle is of your rotation, whatever the mechanism of your rotation, that's where the forces are being transferred into different directions. And that's the only thing. So along all the little ridges and elements of friction you've created, that's where the change in the direction of the force takes place. But there's no new force being introduced. Acts on the block, even pseudo force outwards. As frictional force operates relative motion between the two surfaces, there must be a force outwards. So again, there is no force anywhere outwards. The only force is the velocity of the object and the fact that it's interacting with other objects. So the matter interacts with other matter moving in some other direction, and then the forces change direction. But that's it. There's no new force. There's just velocity. Okay, so that is the fictional force acts towards the center opposing it. So this is just more. In this, if this is true, then there must be a pseudo force even seen from the inertial frame. So again, I don't even believe in these nonsense of our inertial frame. It's all just crap. Okay, you either move or you don't move in the real universe, and that's it. You either have velocity or you do not have velocity. But the fact is, and when you don't have velocity, it's going to be because something else is going to interact with you that you're going to move. You're going to have to interact with something that is moving, or something or a force, okay, created by some other piece of matter. All right. He is not an idiot. He is just, okay, so he's responding to somebody whose comment is missing. Great. He's not an idiot. It is just that he is a bit self-centered. He knows a lot of things better than you and me. Go check his playlist. Okay, well, whatever. I don't, frankly, doing thought experiments, I just don't know how much value this is in terms of a physics conversation. And I'm just saying, there's just no magic to this thing. The gyroscope sort of demonstrates there's no magic to it. Because the force always has to be transferred by the fact that, just think about the gyroscope spinning. Well, what's really going on is there's an axle. And if you change the direction of the gyroscope, you're changing where the friction on the axle is going to be. Right? There's going to be more pressure pushing on one side of the piece of the axle than the other side of the piece of the axle. And that's the motion you're going to get out of the gyroscope. It's the fact that you're transferring energy, right, into something based on which way it's turning on the side that the axle has the more pressure on it. But whatever. It's just not that complicated. Anyway, well, it is complicated. Fuck that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, but it's not. It requires an entire video to go through all of those mechanics, and I just don't know if it's that interesting. Hi, a little bit off the troll stuff response. As you stated, I've done over 1,000 videos, so I hope you can understand. I missed the video. How does light create color? Respectfully. Alright, so another guy says, light doesn't create color, our brain does. Thanks for that. Next week, when I'm using a fluorometer to detect the wavelength of fluorescent dyes, we employ red, green, orange, etc. I'll remember that color is detected by my device was a result of my brain. Well, you're mixing apples and oranges. What our brain does as a reaction to a frequency, right? So all the frequencies are is just frequencies. They're not colors per se. They're just a frequency of light. And our brain has, devised a system to synthesize what those colors represent. So you could say there isn't really any primariness, like red, green, even blue, right? Red, yellow, blue would probably be the better way to say it, right? I think it would be. I think it would be better. So if you think of those as just clumps of frequencies, right? So a certain range of frequencies is red. Now that range could be a little bit bigger this way, it could be a little bigger this way. It really wouldn't matter, right? So you kind of know that those are kind of arbitrary. Where you clump this idea of saying this number of frequencies, this range from 500, say from red is like what, 400 to 700, right? And then you have the yellow would be it can't be that big a range. It's almost like blue. Yeah, it's like blue. It's like blue and red are bigger clumps than the yellow clump in terms of the number of frequencies. But anyway, so your brain is doing that. Your brain is turning them into primaries. And then what it's basically doing, I think, is just averaging a frequency. So if two frequencies are coming in, one's at 700 and one's at 350, it takes the two, adds them, and divides by 2, that kind of thing, and comes up with some new frequency and calls that the color. But clearly there seems to be this idea that you have to mix the 3 colors, but you really don't. You can just mix red and blue and get purple. So, but yeah, our brain is doing color in the sense that our brain is saying red is a category. There's nothing physically saying red is a category. Our brain makes red a category. Our brain makes blue a category. So there is no red and blue in the real universe. There's just a frequency that's either high or low. And those frequencies add up to a color. When you combine all the radiation hitting something, clearly our brain is interpreting it as, well, in a certain amount of time, a certain number of frequencies hit at certain frequencies, and then those frequencies added up to a average frequency, and that average frequency is the one we've designated as pink, or whatever. Something like that. So there is a truth to the fact that it's arbitrary. Whether you see blue, whether it identifies the low frequencies as blue or the low frequencies as red, is the brain could have gone either way. You could see the sky as being red, and you could see the ocean as being red, and the grass as being blue, or what the colors are could be anything. Their relationship to each other is the only part that matters. The relationship between the low frequencies and the high frequencies is the only relationship that matters, in that you add them to come up with some new frequency that is some new color. So I guess our brain is just averaging, and the averaging is what is we're seeing as color. So half of it is just the fact that there are real frequency differences. So the fact that red is different than blue is a fact of the universe. That's just in the frequency. It's identifiable that the frequencies are different. Whether blue is red or red is blue, that part's arbitrary. Our brain could have done it either way. Doesn't matter what the color is. It only matters that our brain identifies a difference between something that's 300 nanometer and something that's 500. I don't know if I helped much. So anyway, I like you. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, we already saw one of your comments and thought it was fluffy nonsense, and there it is again. Here, suffer through this. Oh yeah, this was. I haven't watched all of that video yet. It's just so bad. So yeah, maybe we'll go to that. Maybe not. I'm not in much of a mood, frankly. You're a maniac. It's a nice feeling. Everything seems simple. Simple? This has taken 10 years of tedious argument. There's nothing simple about any of this shit, fuckhead. LOL. Apply your knowledge to anything you like. Oh, thank you. In order to reduce human suffering. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you anywhere on any subject here, fuckhead? Alright, this will snap you back to reality as you realize how arrogant you are. So again, I'm perfectly happy to say that I'm both vain and arrogant. Fine, as long as we understand that arrogant doesn't mean necessarily wrong. Alright? So yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm right. I'm pretty confident you're an asshole. So yeah, call me arrogant. I don't give a shit, fuckhead. Doesn't mean anything. Alright, anyway. You are and your false belief. Okay, arrogant you are and your false belief. So you'll prove that with what argument? Oh, that's right, none. Okay, that you know everything. Well, I never said I know anything. Those are your words that you put in my mouth, didn't you, fuckhead? Yeah, what I said is that, I've watched more two-slit experiments than anybody on YouTube. What I said is that I do know some things, and because I looked for them and I found things. Some people don't look under rocks, and so they don't find anything that's under rocks. Certain kind of bugs. So yeah, I'm saying that I went out looking and I found, the universal bug. As you fail to contribute any advancement to science. So again, says you. So in what form will I be allowed to force you to eat these words? I mean, you really should have to eat them, right? So if I prove you to be an asshole, what's your penance going to be? Because I really should be allowed to really impose an unpleasantness on you, shouldn't I? I mean, here you are making this derogatory horseshit comment. Now, what's your deal? I mean, are you going to be an honest Joe and make an honest deal with me that, okay, you're allowed to make derogatory statements about me and my ambitions and what I might accomplish in the world, and you're saying I'm a failure and I'm useless? Well, what exactly are, because you've done this, does it come with the right for me to impose some kind of really harsh penalty on you? I mean, like, really writing these words on toilet paper that's been used and forcing you to eat it. I mean, what's your penance, fuckhead, when you're going to be wrong? You piece of shit. Ask yourself also, is there any person, scientist you respect? Why should there be? Why should we assume I should respect any religious person? Is there any Catholic you respect? No. Is there any Christian loony, Bible Belt loony that I respect? No. Is there some Mormon I respect? No. What the fuck? Is there some child molester, some teacher I respect? No, there isn't. Why am I obligated to respect these things? I'm arguing that they're lying sacks of shit who are propagandizing a frickin' fable based on a bunch of completely inaccurate, misdescribed experiments. Ones they've never repeated also. They're selling a fucking pile of shit. And so you're saying, well, don't you respect any of the shit sellers? No, I don't. What a fucking idiot. Stick to antinatalism. You want to stick to shoving nails up your ass. Found the physics stuff and I am embarrassed for you. So I'm going to be, like I said, what can I do for you in the future? So when you're proven wrong, okay, can I embarrass you? Yeah, my advice, yeah, fuck it up your ass. Debate the channel as history will use it to discredit your thoughts into the former. So you're too stupid to even think that, oh yeah, well, that's what we do. Because we're ignorant assholes. So if Einstein's right about one thing, he must be right about everything then, right? It's a good plan to abandon your children. Yeah. Make deals, with your wife, spend your Nobel Prize money before you got it. Good luck, yeah. Fuck you. Simple, presumptuous, thoughtless, ignorant, impression-based, reflex, hierarchical, motivated, whatever. You see, you're just saying a little way too much there. Could you provide some examples backed by evidence of erroneous claims he has made? Yes, no, we have no evidence. Okay, that's just the way these people roll. Fuck that. Okay, they don't have to make an argument that is reason-based and fact-based, where they logically put it together. There's nothing there, but I think you're wasting your time. Oh, who cares what you think? Is there some reason I should care? Whatever this thing is. Geronium. Let's see what... Oh, yeah, nothing. No content. Just a douche. A stupid, shit-talking douche. So, fuck off. Alright. Hi, after watching 1,000... Oh, we already did that. Huh. Details of cow... Oh, no, we didn't. Hi, after watching over 1,000 videos on the details of how cow defecation... more than anyone else on YouTube, on the details of cow defecation. So I haven't done any videos on cow defecation. But anyway, I am now an expert on cow psychology and challenge anyone calling themselves a shill to debate me on the subject. I will destroy you. So it's just a joke, right? So when you say, yes, the shills really are picking on retards, and when you argue that their own physics that they think is so secure and so strong and so powerful, in fact is very weak, and it can be shown to be just as weak as the idiotic notions that are motivating the flat earthers. The flat earthers were triggered by little superstitious notions. Well, the fact is, conventional physics was triggered, okay, by little stupid, oh, it looks so much like, oh, it looks like, and they were fooled. And so they have a whole idiotic notion that the universe is made out of little wavy crap, little jellyfish all the way down. Okay? And it's just horse shit. Alright. So, yeah, we'll just block that crap. No doubt the cowboy, it's just nothing to do with his life. Wow, you fuckers in the comments who come just to ridicule still act like a bunch of monkeys. Poo-eating monkeys. Maturation goes wrong. Oh, I think I already read that. Okay, so we'll pass on that. Okay. Yeah, it looks like, yes. Okay, so we're done. Alright, so probably enough of a video for today. And, the world has gone super stupid. It's bad times. We're all diminished, having survived long enough to see this come. See it come to this. I can't imagine what the face on my parents or my grandparents if they saw this day come. How stupid the world has gotten. But anyway, it has. As a child of the 50s, really, but 60s, you wouldn't have seen it coming. You wouldn't have seen this gross failure. It's just such a dismal failure. All right. So anyway, human beings have just turned into such fucking Borgish little dupes. Right and left dupes. That's all there are. Alright, so anyway, they just have to belong to a group. They have to have somebody tell them what the truth is. They don't wish to understand anything. And they just moronically and robotically defend the hierarchy of their club. Okay, but anyway. So, till the next time and such, so forth and whatnot. So, still looking for a debate. I will attempt to provoke it with somebody else, somewhere else, and see what happens, but whatever. So, the slightly confusing part where is going to be is all my videos are going to have the same title. Maybe I'll try to throw gravity in there somewhere, but that's the way it's going to be until I get some justice. And such.